Okay, so let's jump right in. If you've ever swung a golf club, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's this huge gap between what you feel like you're doing and what's actually happening, right? Well, today we're going to explore that exact challenge and how some pretty revolutionary technology is providing a real solution. And we're going to do it all through the eyes of one expert coach.
And this quote from Coach Henrik Jensch, wow, it just hits the nail on the head. This is the core problem. It's something every single golfer and every coach has to deal with. It's the reason why that perfect, flowing practice swing suddenly feels completely different the moment you stand over the ball. This right here, this is the feel versus real dilemma, and it's a central puzzle we're going to try and solve.
So let's really break this down. On one side, you've got feel. That's your own perception, your internal idea of how your body is moving. And on the other side, there's real, the cold, hard data of what's actually happening. The wild part is, as Coach Jench found out, the data can literally show the exact opposite of what a player thinks they're doing. So bridging that gap, it's not just about some minor tweak. It's the absolute key to unlocking real, consistent, and lasting improvement. So, how do you actually bridge that gap? Well, this is where we follow the journey of Coach Henrik Jensch. See, like a lot of coaches, he started out with traditional 2D video, but he felt like he hit a wall. He was looking for something more, something tangible, something with real data that he could give his players. He wanted to get past just looking at a picture and start talking about real, measurable change. And you might be asking, well, why isn't a slow motion video good enough? And that's a great question. For Henrik, the goal wasn't just to confirm what his own expert eye could already see in 2D. It was about creating a whole new level of understanding for his players. It was about giving them truly objective feedback. The kind of data that's impossible to argue with. And that's how you really build trust. And this really gets to the core of what makes 3D technology so powerful. Objective feedback. This isn't a coach's opinion or a guess. It's pure, raw information. It's the tool that finally allows a player to see the actual truth of their movement, helping them line up their feel with what's real. And trust me, when that clicks, their progress can accelerate like you wouldn't believe. Okay, so let's see how this actually works in practice. We're going to focus on one of the most critical areas where 3D analysis just has a massive impact, the lower body, and specifically the movement of the pelvis. If the golf swing has an engine, this is it. How your pelvis moves pretty much dictates everything that happens later on with the club. So with 3D, Henrik can really zero in on three crucial metrics. First up is pelvis rotation. That's all about how much the pelvis turns. Then you have pelvis sway, which is that side-to-side lateral movement. And finally, there's pelvis lift, the vertical up and down movement. Getting these things right is absolutely critical for consistency and control. And this case study just brilliantly shows the power of this data. So Henrik was working with a player who was really struggling with a closed club face at impact. Now, the 3D data showed that the real issue was not enough vertical movement, not enough pelvis lift. So what was the solution? He prescribed some simple jump exercises to focus on creating that vertical force. And the result? It significantly opened the club face and totally transformed the player's ball flight. Incredible. And what's really, really crucial here is that this isn't about making everyone swing the same way or trying to match some average number from a Tour Pro database. No way. It's all about identifying each player's own optimal movement pattern. It's about finding out what works best for you. Okay, but this all begs a huge question, right? For years, this kind of tech was only found in these super expensive labs. So is it still only for elite studios that have a $100,000 setup? Well, you just have to hear Hendrik's reaction when he compared a new system to his own $100,000 lab setup. The resemblance in the patterns, he said it was shockingly close. It was, in his words, a real game changer. Yup, what this means is that incredibly detailed 3D analysis is now, literally, in your pocket. The ability to do this stuff with just a smartphone or a tablet has made this tech accessible to pretty much everyone. So if you're a coach looking to get started with 3D, Henrik has two key pieces of advice. First, just start simple. Maybe host a free assessment day just to collect data and learn as you go. And second, don't get overwhelmed. Focus on just a few key metrics at first, like the pelvis sway, lift, and rotation we talked about. And get this, the flexibility of this tech means you can even coach from your couch. Seriously.
Henrik does remote sessions where a student sends a video from their phone and he can do a full 3D analysis from anywhere in the world. It really makes high-level coaching possible for anyone.
Now, it's really important to be clear about what 3D analysis is and what it isn't. So, what it's not a magic solution. And it's definitely not a replacement for good coaching. But what it is a really powerful tool. It's a massive enhancement for coaching.
At the end of the day, 3D doesn't replace coaching. It enhances it. It doesn't replace experience, it complements it. It's this amazing fusion of objective data and human expertise. And it finally gives players a clear roadmap to make their feel match what is real.